Okay, we are live. Hi everyone, welcome back to Busy Professional Interview Series. Today I'm so excited to bring you episode 4 and my guest is the lovely Dr. Suzie from UK. Dr. Suzie is a general practitioner and an online business coach now, a wife and a mom of a teenager daughter. So what I really love about her story is that she already had a successful and very respected profession as a doctor, but she still started asking herself if there was a way to create more time freedom and more flexibility and more quality time with her family. Before starting this business, she was working more than 50 hours a week since starting her online business journey. So she has been able to reduce her working hours around 20 hours a week while continuing to build her business and enjoy more time with her family. So today we will talk about why a doctor started online business and whether she was skeptical in the beginning and how she managed it with a busy career and what changed for her life and the family as well. So, Doctor, welcome, and I'm so happy to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Anisha. Thank you. It's an honor and privilege to share this stage with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. And yes, I know you just started your day from UK. For us, it's the end of the day. So this is the beauty of the business. We can still connect each others as well. So I want you hold. I know you have appointments to go after that. I want you hold for a. I just only have a only little while. So could you please briefly introduce yourself to the audience and share what life looked like before starting this business as well?
Yeah. Thank you once again. So, for those who don't know me, for people who are new to my page as well as Anusha's page, I've never been in Anusha's page before. So, just to introduce myself, my name is Dr. Suzie Jacob. I am a general practitioner by training and background in the United Kingdom. I live here with my husband, who used to work as a private chef, working over 60 hours 4 years ago. It's going to be about 4 years, end of this month, since I've started this beautiful journey. And he's completely retired now. I was able to do that within 14 months of starting this business. When I started this business, I was working over 50 hours in general practice. And I do have a 17-year-old daughter. Today, life looks very different for me. Along with my husband being a full-time dad at home, and we do a bit of our charity mission works. That's what we are focused on at the moment, giving back to the community. I also work part-time. I From working 50 hours, I work around 27 hours. I do two roles. I am a lead GP for obesity management for a private company, which I do just 12 hours over 3 days. And then I work for the NHS as a hands-on GP with special interest in diabetes. For about couple of days a week. So that's how my life looks like. And of course, I'm an online business coach, and I have a big team that I manage also. So that's a bit about myself and how
Amazing,
my life is
amazing.
over now.
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like you had a busy role, especially but that's so glad to hear what the business has given to you. So it's honestly that's a great feeling. I can imagine now. It's good that you helped your husband to quit his job. That how amazing is that, right? So that is wonderful. I can feel about it. I'm a job quitter, so 11 months being in the business, I could able to walk away from 9 to 5 accounting career. So I know the feelings being home and stay with your family and spending more quality time. That is amazing feeling. Thank you so much for sharing. And we as a society in our community, we know the doctors are like they have a good profession that but as a doctor, so many people would think you already had a safe and respected and very successful profession. So tell me, doctor, what made you to still look for something more? What were you missing?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that is a question, million-dollar question, which most people, when they see me actually talk on social media, they're all shocked that I do something other than being a doctor. So for me, as I briefly said, working 50 hours a week is not a joke, especially in healthcare. It just takes a part of you because, you deal with human life, their emotions, their struggles, and dealing with that day in and day out can actually have an impact on your health and mental health, physical health, emotional well-being, and things like that. But don't get me wrong, I if I wanted to, I could have quit my job. I can quit my job, but I love being a doctor, and that's why I continue keeping the hours which works for me at the moment. So, and my husband was a high-end chef, so he used to work as a private chef and working over 60 hours. When you're and he that means he used to earn as much as a doctor. So we were both in the bracket of top 5% earners in the UK, both of us. So it was never about the money, because we were
Wow.
making money anyway. Okay, so we were already making money, so that was never the. But he was away for 60 hours a week. We never had a proper vacation together because he's a private chef. That means he works for a VIP families, which we have to even sign a disclosure. So I can't even tell you who he's worked with, because that's one of the things you have to do when you work that way. So when they have school holidays, which time even we have school holidays, he has to go with the family abroad or other places because he's their personal chef. So that means we never used to get time together when it mattered the most with our daughter. And again, as a general practitioner, everyone wants, there's lots of moms working as GPs, so we all want to be with our children during school holidays. So there's always a clash. Oh, I had took leave last time, but I really want leave this time. No, you took the leave last time, so you can't have this Christmas, that Christmas. And it was coming to a point where I was starting to get fed up. Like, there were years we didn't go on holiday. Imagine being top 5% earners and not going on a holiday. It's difficult for some people to even grasp that idea, but the thing is, that's what happens when you trade your time for money, because your money, how much you earn, depends on the time and effort, that you spend. It's on an hourly basis, and that's how you get paid. And the thing is, we have just one daughter, and the pandemic was not good for anyone's mental health. And she being a bubbly extrovert, just like my husband, it didn't help her mental health at all, because she loves and thrives in the midst of people. That's how she thrives. And imagine pandemic, you're not supposed to see anyone, that kind of didn't help her mental health. And plus, we were working very long hours. She was left home, like, she was old enough to leave her home. Yeah, don't get me wrong, she was around 13, 14, so she was old enough to be left alone legally at home. uh, but the thing is, that doesn't really help. We think they are, when our kids grow up, okay, oh, they can so they can, have a shower, they can heat their food, they can be left alone home. But emotionally, our children need us. And I think that's where I felt as I as a mom failed her. And because I was in a very stressful job, and my husband was also not there, I really missed the signs of her mental health struggles. So she was going through depression and stuff like that. And one day when she couldn't take it anymore is when she came and said, Mama, I can't deal with this anymore. And I realized I failed in two ways. I failed as a mom, unable to recognize, and I also failed as a doctor, because depression is something I see every day. And I failed to see the signs on my own daughter. And that told me too many things. Like, it told me that I'm trained to recognize something, and I failed because I was overworking myself to maintain a standard of living. And then for me at that point, what I mean is, like, all my qualifications were just a piece of paper. I've qualified. I've just told you a brief. There's a lot of other qualifications. I'm a teacher. I teach medical students. I've GP trainees. I specialized in. I've done palliative care. Elderly care, diabetes. So there are many things I've specialized in. So at that moment, for me, is like the most important role I failed. For me, that was how I felt. And I felt all my qualifications was a piece of paper. And I made a decision at that time. I'm going to be there for my daughter no matter what happens. And the best thing for me is to actually have the time. But you have your mortgage, you have your car, your insurances, all that sort of things to pay. So how do I get that paid while still being a present mom? And that was the point where I thought, no, I need a way to make money while being a very present mom, which was my full priority, and I was willing to do what it takes. And that's actually what made me start looking for another stream of income.
Wow, that is so emotional. Honestly, I think this story can resonate to so many of the professionals out there. Like you said, you are one of the like 5% of the like top earners. But no matter what, how much money we have, how much wealth we have, right? If you don't have a time for your kids, like that is thinking about myself. I took that decision like 2 years ago when my little one was 2 years old. So now I can see how beautifully they are growing into a nice human, like because I'm always there to guide them, look after them. And I think doctor, I think you have a pass a strong message to people of audience who are watching and who thinks that they're still safe in their 9 to 5 or their old professions. But still just they don't have an option, right? They are thinking when it's come to something online, they always scared, right? Because this is not how we molded. We were always told that you got to work hard to earn money, right? So that is what we are always thinking in a traditional way, but this is a new way of earning. And doctor, you're not too late. Like you're still, your daughter's teenage, you still have a time to spend, and I'm so happy for you now you could able to do that. I think you made a really wise decision to take the control of your life. Sometime life give us signals or the incidents. Okay, you got to wake up and you got to do something new now. It's enough, right? So it comes in a different way. Some people are waiting for that moment. So I think your story will resonate to so many people. You don't have to wait life till life pushes you to do something new. Just do it now, right? So do it and start building now. Then you will be amazed with the results as well. So now you can see two of us are here. So doctor has gone to part-time. I completely work out my 9 to 5s, and we do enjoy the life while we are still earning online as well. Okay, thank you so much, doctor, for sharing that. And this is a common question I really want to ask. When you first saw, I really like to get your honest opinion, honest how did you feel about it when you first saw this online opportunity? Were you skeptical, or were you worried about what others people might think of? Okay, doctor is doing now online thing. What is this? Were you worried about what other would think?
Yeah. So I'll just give you a bit of background. So this business was not my first rodeo, as the Americans would say. So when I decided at that point in time that I wanted something on the side, I didn't know what I wanted. I just, my why was to be more present mom. So I didn't know how that would look like. I just knew I wanted it. So what do we do when we don't know something? And this was before the time of Chat GPT. Okay, so what do? We go to Dr. Google and say, so the first thing I Googled is, what do doctors do other than their jobs to earn extra money? That is what I Googled. And when I looked at it, the actual first thing that came was property. Having investment property. So I was like, okay, that's what I needed to
Investment
do.
property.
Investment property. But I, again, didn't know anything about it. No idea what to do. So what I did is, because I didn't
Yeah.
know anything about it, I looked at how to learn about it, and then I did some research and things like that, and I then invested in my self education. I paid over 16,000 pounds to somebody just to teach me property. And listen to the amount which I'm saying. You don't get something for nothing. So if you want something, you need to pay for it. Yeah. That's when the transaction happens. Transformation will only happen when there's a transaction. So I paid that, and it was and again, it was like a 12-month mentorship kind of thing, just 12 months. And I started my property business. But what I realized with property is, don't get me wrong, you make money in property, but the time, I was working full time as a GP, and then you need to go view these properties. Or if you can't do it, you have to assign someone, and that means you have to pay someone to go do these things. That defeats the point, really. So the thing is, I had to take annual leave to go and see and do all these properties and all. So for me, by the time I was month 8 and all, I realized, yes, this is a good thing for people who have time. I don't have time. So it is good. Or if you have a lot of money, then it is a good strategy to get someone to do it for you. Okay. So I understood this is not. Then while I was doing that, I went into crypto. Oh my, I made lots of money. I lost a lot of money. It was like gambling, crypto. And then I was like, this does not work for my moral and ethical values. So I stopped it. Again, I paid someone, and you have to pay a membership fee. What that means is every 3-4 months, you have to pay this person to be part of that network. Okay. So that one. Then I had a friend of mine told me about a business, which again, I had no idea about pyramid scheme, MLMs, and things like that. And because he was my friend and said like this, like that, I invested into that. And then later realized it was something MLM, and, that's not the right thing. And it was a scam and things like that. Lost some money there. But why am I telling you this story is, so because by the time I saw this opportunity, I didn't see an ad or anything. I just saw my mentor and coach's video. And in that video, she was actually talking about how she was hitting her bigger milestones. And just within like 10 months into the business, she started working only 1 day a week. For me, that was my ideal thing. Like, can I work like 1 or 2 days a week? And when I went into her page and research, she was earning two-thirds of what I was earning just by working she's a nurse, so 1 day a week. I was like, I'm in the wrong profession. And then I was thinking, she's a nurse. If she can do it, I don't think this is rocket science. And she was doing shift work. So with shift work, we can do all these things. So for me, why did property not work for me? It was the time. If you want to talk to a realtor, it's 9 to 5, 9 to 6. I work that time. I'm a general practitioner. I work. Those are my core working hours. It doesn't work for me that way. Why does the online business work? It is because it's flexible. I can decide to do it in the morning, 3 o'clock in the night, or at 10 o'clock in the night. It's that flexible. So I came to know that this business can be done because it is flexible. So for me, it ticked that box. And then I ticked that box like someone from a medical healthcare professional with their stretched working hours was able to become successful in about 10 to 12 months time. And that gave me confidence. And then again, this was a business. I then by that time, because I knew what an MLM and pyramid scheme was, I was educated because of the mistakes I've made. Again, listen to what I'm saying. People are even scared to make mistakes. You don't even want to know the amount of money I spent on my self-education. I went for the Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi course. I've done their courses just so, because I was not born an entrepreneur. And then like what Anusha said, we were only taught to be good employees, not a business. So we don't have any kind of business acumen. So you need to educate yourself, whether it's free or paying someone to educate you. When you pay money for something, you get speed. Why do you get speed? Because you don't make the same mistakes. What will take you 10 years, for if you were to do it yourself, you will take you 1 year. That is why there's a lot of people I retired my husband from a job that he was earning top 5% within 14 months. Yeah, that is what this business has done for me. So by the time I came to this business, because of my mistakes, and I'm just saying the word as mistakes, for me is, I would say, learning curves. And sometimes for learning curves, you have to invest and you have to spend time and money to understand. Now, what is the benefit of me at the moment? I can tell you around every kind of things, because I looked at stocks, I looked at bonds, I looked at creative strategies like service accommodations. I looked at Amazon. I've looked at, and I will tell you exactly why that, what are the benefits and cores and prawns for that kind of business models, because I did my education. So by the time I saw this business, because of my learning curves, I was like, all the courses I did, mentorship is for 3 months. You're telling me this is for lifetime? It didn't make any sense for me. I'm like, what is this? What are they offering? You're telling me there's going to be a coach and mentor for life? You're going that we are going to have training for life? Guys, I paid 16,000 pounds for a year. And I paid someone to teach me while I was doing property. I paid someone else to teach me how to do Facebook ads, and I spent 3,500 pounds for 3 months. Here, you don't pay a membership fee. Why did I tell you this story? Membership fee to be part of the community. Every 2 months, 3 months, you have to pay. Nothing like that in our business. You're part of the business, you're a part of the business for life. Yeah, it's not like after one, after one, after one, after one, after you have to keep on spending lots of money. Yes, of course, this is a business. There is some ongoing costs, but it's not like big cost like starting KFC in central London where you have to pay 1 million just for the name of KFC. If that was the case, none of us can start a business. Yeah, so by the time I came to this business, I was 100, and I came and saw the structure. Okay, I don't know anything about coding, I don't know anything about how to do track or something. I'm not that technical, and I don't want to be. I'm not interested. I'm a doctor, I'm not interested. There's a back office where you can, it's a ticketed system where if you're stuck, you send a ticket, they'll sort you out. There's someone to sort out your website, to track your tools, and to maintain that sort of system is about 21,000 pounds a year. And
Wow.
people are skeptical about paying 149 pounds, which will include all this, one of 149 pounds. Where is one of what 149 pounds and learning one platform 3,500 pounds? So by the time I came to this, I was like, this is a gold mine. And I think we need to educate the audience. That's why I'm very passionate when I come and educate the audience about what value we offer you. Because I've done other things. And I know what the world does and what our business model does. So for me, by the time I came
Yeah.
here, I wasn't skeptical, but people will think why I was not skeptical. And that's why I had to tell you my backstory. Because when I started, I had no clue. I have no clue. I spend a lot of money. And but by the time I came here, can I tell you, I've made multiple times what I've spent on before through this business. I made more money last year than as a doctor last year. That is what this business will do for you. And that is why anyone, no matter how busy they are, can do this business. Sorry, I hope that answers your question. I did go a bit roundabout, but otherwise people will not get the whole
Yeah, you
concept.
absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. You absolutely nail it, and you really added great values also, because when something, some people have to pay, they are like, oh, why we have to pay? Is there anything free that
Yeah,
I can? Nothing is free in this world, right? So you
nothing is
gotta
free.
pay for getting anything, information or training or whatever, right? Nothing is free in this world. So I think there's a lack between the connection. Maybe sorry about that, but yeah, thank you so much, Doctor. That I think you have a really added a value. I think this is going to be a really eye-opener conversation for the people out there thinking that the you paying USD 149 is too much. It is just nothing, right? The things that what we are getting for the business, it's just honestly, it's absolutely incredible. So you won't get from anywhere. I bet you. So thank you so much. And I just want to ask you this question for people who think that I'm too busy. I don't know. I can whether do this business. I want to ask from you, how did you manage building this business while still working as a lone hours as a very busy GP?
Yeah, absolutely. And my husband was working 60 hours and I was working 50 hours when I started this business. So for me, it's like I understood that you if you treat the business as a business and not a hobby, you will get that sort of result. So for me, I reprioritized things. I made the business a priority, and that means I had to discipline myself. I didn't have a lot of time, so I used pockets of time. There was one of those habits which I used to have is as soon as I wake up in the morning, I used to watch the news. I realized that that was very depressing, and it sets the tone for your day because people are dying, there's wars all over. And I understood I can't do anything about that. I can only change my life and I can only inspire other people through my life. Yeah. So what I did first thing is stopped watching the news. And then there was that 10-15 minutes in the morning. And that 15 minutes I used to do work in the business. Then during lunch hour, when I was doing my paperwork, when I'm not patient facing, I have two screens. So in the second screen, I used to listen to the training while I was doing paperwork. That's called net, no extra time. So I tell people in my business also, who are my mentees also, when you are cooking, I know some of you watch these series and episodes and things like that. Stop watching that or listening to that. Listen to the training while you're cooking. Are you commuting for work on a tube, a train, or a car? Put on the training instead of music, so you're listening to that. Okay. And that is what I did, because I didn't have time, so I had to work around those kind of things. So you can do that. Then there are, of course, certain things you're like, no, I have to go back and pay full attention on this part of the training. So what happens is, after I come back, sort my daughter out, then about half an hour I spent doing the rest of it. So just spending pockets of time adding up to an hour a day is how I changed my life and retired my husband within 14 months. So that is what I did. I'm disciplined myself. You know, everything that was a
Wow.
distraction and a noise, I took it out. You don't need to listen to music. You can listen to the training. You can listen to entrepreneurial podcasts, so that you can be self-educated and you can be, motivated and inspired and learn something that you can apply in your thing. So yes, music is good. I used to listen to it a lot, but then I understood that's not changing my life. Changing my life is information and following the life of other successful people, and actually not just doing that, implementing. Because you can listen, like, knowledge is only, as Tony Robbins says, knowledge is only potential power. It is only power when you apply that knowledge in your life, that too consistently. That is how, like,
Absolutely.
this is not like one day you do it and
Yes,
then next 10 days
absolutely.
you don't do it. You have to consistently, and you have to have the discipline. Do you think I didn't feel like, after coming back from work, watch that next Netflix series? Oh, I did. But my pain and my path was like, no, I want a change for my life. I want my life to look different. So the initial years, I will put my 100% in it, and that's what I did, and that's what changed my life.
Yeah, wow. You are such an inspiration for so many people who are complaining that they don't have a time. That is exactly I did also. While I was working full time, my little one was 2 years old when I started this business, and I had an elder one 6 years old. Full time work, new to Australia, and all those things. But I used that wisely, the pocket of time, the available time here and there. So that is exactly, so that is the flexibility of this business, right? You choose your own hours, and of course you need to have a self discipline and consistency for everything, not only for the business, your life also. If you want to build something meaningful, you got to sacrifice something, because we all have a 24 hours, right? This is something added into your daily routine, but you got to find the time. I think we all learn how to manage our time effectively thanks to this business. So that is these are the things that we learn, other perks of this doing this business, right? Thank you so much, doctor. So I really appreciate your honest sharing with that. So now this is a huge achievement. Honestly, I'm super proud of you. So you were able to reduce your working hours from 50 plus hours to around 20 hours, and you could able to retire your husband as well. So what changed for you, and how has that impacted your family life now?
I think the most important thing, because again, people have to understand this is a business. Even yesterday, someone asked me about the business, and they asked me, what did you earn the first month? I had to explain I didn't earn anything the first month. I said I started earning month three. And because there is a learning process, like, it's like, oh, okay, I started medical school. How many patients did you see the first month? Love, I did medical school for 5.5 years before I was actually left alone to see a patient. You know what I mean? So there is a learning before you earn. But unlike medicine, nursing, engineering, or whatever, you don't have to wait that 5 years, 5.5 years, or 4 years, or whatever your course is, to actually start doing the work. You learn, and you earn, but you have to learn first before you, like any, even like medicine or something, you have to learn before you can actually see a patient. So you have to learn before you, the business starts working for you. So those first 3 months, I was learning the process, learning how to communication skills, how to learning the business itself. And then because we do social media marketing, I and a lot of people, when I tell them this, they are surprised. I'm an introvert. I'm still an introvert by nature. The best thing I'd like to do is be in my room and read something, or just be by myself. um, I am not a party person. I don't like to go for parties. I don't like get-togethers, and things like that. It takes a lot out of me because I'm an introverted person. So initially I didn't know how to take a photo, and my husband's an amateur photographer. He loves taking pictures, he loves taking videos and things like that. So because he was working 60 hours over 4 days, he had 3 days at home, but he was very tired. So he used to keep on asking, let's go out and things like that. And I had his scarcity mindset. So if I had any time free, I pick up an extra shift. That was how I was. Or what if something happens next month or something like that? That fear, that scarcity mindset. That all changed from day one. Then whenever he was free, I was also free. I say, can we go out and take some pictures? Can go out for lunch and things like that? Because I wanted to leverage that on the business. So, what changed was my relationship with my husband. I never used to see him. We used to live in the same house, more like housemates rather than, husband and wife, because he used to leave at 4:30 in the morning and come back at 11:30, and I'm asleep when he comes in, I'm asleep when he goes. There was no 0% family life, and whenever he was free, I'm working or doing extra shifts. So what changed is my relationship with my husband. Like, we started becoming family again. So that, I would say, more than the money, I think the money is just the byproduct of the person you're becoming. So I stopped becoming like thinking about what if. That scared, my mindset started to change. I started believing, before, when things happen, I used to, like, I believe in God. So I used to ask, God, why did this happen to me? Even when my daughter was going through the phase, the first thing is, God, why did it happen to me? Now I believe it didn't happen to me, it happened for me. Because if that hadn't happened, I would be still working as a GP. My husband would be still working as a private chef, and still living like housemates rather than a husband and a wife. So that is the most important change. It's changed my mindset. And when my mindset started changing, it started showing in the way I showed up for work, even as a doctor, showed up as a wife, showed up as a daughter, showed up as a mom. So that changed for me. And I have to stress, the money is great. I just explained to you, I earned more than a doctor last year. Money is beautiful, but more than money is, this business has changed my overview of life, my mindset. Now I don't have that scarcity mindset. I haven't done an extra shift for 4 years. I haven't done an extra shift for 4 years. And that is what this business has done for me. Now we travel. Like last year, I went to 5 countries. My husband's retired, so he went to India. We're originally from India. So he went 3 times to India last year, and no credit cards,
Wow.
nothing, all paid by our business. No credit cards. Before, when we go to India and things like that, you take up a card, pay this thing, come back, do the extra shifts to pay off the card. There's no credit card business. And we travel about 5 countries. I've already, this year, I was in like Switzerland earlier this year. Then we went to Ireland for our business meet. My business partners, that's why I was telling you, I'm a bit busy because I'm organizing a business meet where our business leaders are coming from US. So that's in UK in a couple of weeks' time, and I'm the organizer for that. So I'm a bit busy. Then again,
Oh, wow.
I'm going to Portugal, then India. Yeah, I'm going to do a bit more traveling. I haven't decided the rest of the countries I'm going to go this year, but these are all the booked and stuff like that. And yeah, 5% top earners didn't have a vacation even once a year. And this is how now we travel as a
Wow,
family.
that's amazing.
Yeah, we travel as a family, and all our business expense. And when you work as a doctor or something for somebody else, you're taxed at source. when you do a business, you only get taxed for your profit, not your expense. Your phone's an expense, your internet's an expense, your laptop is an expense, your petrol is an expense, your bag, one, I bought a nice bag and stuff like that, it's a business expense. Sometimes I buy clothes, it's for business expense, because I have to look beautiful for these kind of things. People don't realize, and you don't pay tax for that. People don't realize how much better it is to have a business than having a job. Please have a job. Like, I am still working as a GP because I love being a doctor, but I love working as a doctor in my terms, and that is what this business has done. Last year there was a cancer scare for my mom, and she didn't want to do anything about it. My husband was on a wedding in India, and thankfully it was school holidays in about 2 3 days time. I booked my ticket for me and my daughter. After booking my ticket, I called my two workplaces and said, this is my mom's having an emergency. I need to go to India to be with her. You can use my annual leave. I have lots of annual leave. You can use it. If you don't use it, I will go without pay, but I am going. I dictate when I go. I dictate when and how I show up for my family. I will not allow anyone else anymore to dictate whether I can go for a family emergency or not. That is what this business has done for me.
Wow.
The confidence to say, 4 years ago, I wouldn't dare to do that because we don't know whether we'll have the job when we come back.
Yeah.
So you were
True,
asking
true.
me, what is the impact this business has done? This is the impact. Money is not everything, because I earned money before starting this business, but money makes your life easier, but you also have to earn money in the smart way and not the hard way. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that is honestly, that is a huge impact. Oh yeah, you did, like you're just nailing it. And that is honestly tells a lot about this business, because this is not another side hustle, right? This is a life-changing business opportunity. It has changed your life in a different way. Now so happy to see how you are enjoying, and you simply you took the control of your life. So that is amazing. Thank you so much, doctor, for sharing that. So it's really interesting. I wish we could continue this. The discussion is very interesting, but unfortunately, because I know you have another appointment to go with your husband, so we came to the last question, and I want to ask, what would you say to another professional, maybe a doctor, accountant, engineer, nurse, or busy working mom, who has a good career but still wants more time freedom and more choices, but they're scared to, something is holding them back not to take the action? So what would you have to say to those professionals?
Yeah, this is the best time. So the thing is, if you think a job will make you wealthy, no, it won't. The only way you can create wealth is through a business and having assets. That's the only way you can create. And you have to learn how to do that. And we teach you how to do that through this business. The thing is, that good career is not as safe as what you think. There are new doctors and nurses now in this country who is not having a job. Can you imagine? I can't even believe I'm saying that. Doctors and nurses, especially newly qualified people, are not getting jobs. Why? Cheap labor. A lot of things which the doctors used to do can be done by advanced nurse practitioners. A lot of things which the nurses used to do can be done by auxiliaries or healthcare professional. A lot of things that pharmacists can do can be done by pharmacy technicians. It's same thing. Lawyers can be done by paralegals. So everything has somebody else to do your job. So they don't need the same amount of work. And the biggest thing, AI. Whether you love it or hate it, it's here to stay. AI has made my business and my life as a manager in as a doctor a lot easier. So just use it for your advantage. But if you refuse to, and if you think your job is going to be for the next 30 years, think again. This year, near time, Easter time, Oracle sent an email at 6 o'clock in the morning. No talking, nothing. Thank you for your services, but we don't require your services anymore. And the previous quarter was their biggest, profit revenue that they brought in. Who would think like a company would make people redundant when they had the greatest profit? You know why? Because they have invested in AI. So that safe job and good career that you think you have, it's not secure. The biggest risk that you have at the moment is thinking that you have your career for life. There is nothing for life. You need to build something for yourself. I am not telling you to quit your job. I haven't quit my job, but I am now working in my own terms. And you, and like Anusha, if you want to quit your job, this business gives you an opportunity. There are people in my team who have quit their jobs. Or, like me, you can keep your job working with, in your terms, your hours by choice. And that is what this business gives you. So, whether you love your job or hate it, just make sure that you have that passive stream of income in the background that will make your family secure, because a job is never going to create that. And if you'd like to know more about this, wherever you're watching, whether in my page or Anusha's page, just get in touch with us and we will be more than happy to walk you through the process. Give yourself an opportunity. I am not here to tell you that this opportunity is definitely for you. But what if it is for you and you look at it and just say, oh, these are just bunch of crazies talking in the internet. Okay, these bunch of crazies have actually change their lives. So if you want to change your life, you might need to do something a bit crazy. Okay, you might need to take that step of faith. You will not know. Even when I stepped into this business, I'm still learning new things every day. You're not going to have the whole picture, but as you take action is when clarity happens. Clarity will never take place unless you take action, because every day you're going to learn something new. But all I can talk is about myself, and this has been life changing. And if it has changed my life, it can change yours also. So over to you, Anisha. Thank you.
Absolutely, and thank you so much. And I think, like you said, nothing will change until you decide to change, right? So this is such a great opportunity. I'm so honored to have you here. I think you have actually added a great value to the page and the discussion as well. This will honestly will open so many people's eyes as well. They need to think about just out of their box. And yes, AI is replacing so many jobs. People are losing redundancy everywhere, and it is honestly like a scary things are happening around the world, right? So thank you so much, doctor, for sharing your story today. So I think your journey is such a powerful reminder that even when someone has a good profession, a stable career, and life looks successful from the outside, it is still okay to want more time and more freedom and the more flexibility, of course, more family moments with your loved ones, and more choices for your future. You don't have to rely on one job. You can still absolutely build something meaningful alongside with your career. You are a great example for that. So to everyone watching, maybe you are a doctor, nurse, engineer, accountant, IT professional, working mom. Maybe you have a good career, but deep down you feel like time is for wonder if there is a smarter way to create more freedom or more time with your family. I hope Doctor's story shows you that you don't need to change everything overnight, right? You can start by exploring, learning, and understanding what is possible for you. Thank you again so much, Doctor, for being part of my Busy Professional episode 4. And thank you everyone for watching us live today. And it is very honor to have you on my page, Doctor. And I'll see you sometime. And I want to bring you for I just want to have another session with you just to analyze what are the opportunities you did. We will do another session. And until then, and take care. You have a beautiful day. And bye for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye for now. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.